Jordan Kavanaugh. I'm here to discuss the prototype that my ideation team and myself came up with. So, as you know, we did the wheelchair, and I attempted to obtain a wheelchair, but everybody who's in one is confined to it, and I was unable to get one. And I'm also a terrible artist, admittedly, so I just have this up on the screen, and if you don't mind, just do your best to imagine some of the innovations that we were going to make to it. According to Don Norman, it's first and foremost, we wanted to figure out why and how people use the wheelchair. Obviously, nobody wants to be in a wheelchair. They're in there for a purpose, and as far as the values, I think it's movement to obtain movement, interact with others, kind of maintain the same quality of life that you're accustomed to prior to being in the wheelchair, and just kind of a return to normalcy. So with that in mind, what we tried to do was, for all these innovations were a means to an end to help remain normal and, move and do all the things that they used to be able to do. Or, if they haven't been in a wheelchair, do everything that a perceived, unhandicapped person would be able to do. So, we try to simplify the complex tasks. So anything on here that may be like, the hydraulic, for example, we would just have a button for it, simplify it, so everything is kind of streamlined. And I'll just go ahead and go into the innovations that we decided to come up with. And the criteria for the changes that we're going to make to the wheelchair were it had to receive at least 3 votes from the ideation team. That was Matt, Daniel, RJ, myself, and Alex Lawson. And it also had to be supported by my parents' neighbor who's been confined to a wheelchair for the past 10 years. So the innovations we decided to make were first and foremost lumbar support and additional padding. So more padding in kind of the calf area, lumbar area, and even up top in the neck. The second innovation would be hydraulics and a lift kit, and that would enable people in wheelchairs to be able to, get up, reach for things that, like, for example, get to the top shelf in the supermarket is just one aspect. Maybe, in a movie theater, be able to or levitate a little bit to get a better vantage point of the picture. Another thing that we came up with was a reclining feature. And, my parents' neighbor made sure to say that only if the individual's back was able to support that. A lot of people in wheelchairs have bad backs, but if they were, she thought it'd be a great idea, and so did the ideation team. We think being able to recline in the wheelchair would be great. You wouldn't have to go through the hassle of getting out of the chair, getting back in, all that stuff. Cup holders were kind of a good idea. Everybody's on board with that. I apologize. Cup holders were an idea that everybody was on board with. She was on board as well. Just seemed to make sense. Another feature that I'd have to link up with, a sharp, innovative scientist for, or engineer to bring that into fruition is the idea to make a feature to get in and out of the wheelchair a little bit easier. It's a concept that we all liked, and my neighbor liked it as well, but it's something that we don't really have the technology to do, as far as I know. But I'm sure if we got with the right person, we could make that happen. Another one is the battery pack for self-sufficiency as far as mobile devices, charging things, which also leads me to my next point. We'd probably implement or add USB outlets somewhere along there, to make it compact and not jutting out or anything like that. I think that'd be a good idea. I mean, in this age, everything has to be charged. So GPS capability was another feature that we all agreed on, we liked. Just in case you're out in the middle of nowhere and, your phone is messed up beyond the point where you can't charge it or anything, GPS capability would be able to get you back where you need to go, safe and sound. Speaking of safe and sound, inflatable side pockets, kind of something that you see on airplanes would be a good feature, something that, would probably be inside the wheelchair, and you hit a button and it would deploy, so to speak, in case of an aquatic emergency. Four-wheel drive capability would require bigger and wider all-terrain tires, but we like that, for the thrill seeker. Phone attachment, lightweight material like scandium, titanium, crypto-alloy, and last but not least, we like the safety and fluorescent lights for night travel. And those were all the votes, or the ideation that met our criteria, and we think we did a pretty swell job of re-innovating the wheelchair. Thanks.